Welcome to How to Work with Celebrities and Influencers course. If you're interested in working with celebrities or influencers, or you're vaguely intrigued by it all, then this course will help you with that. In this course, I'll cover everything you need to know and possibly more than you thought you needed to know. So let's get started. If this is the first time we're meeting, let me take a moment to just introduce myself and let you know why I'm teaching you this course. My name is Maya Riaz. I work as a celebrity manager and a publicist, and I'm dubbed by my clients as PR to the stars. I've been working in the industry for over 15 years, and in this capacity, I have a lot of people coming to me wanting to work with my clients. So, whether they be brands or business owners, I involve some sort of element of celebrity collaborations with brands. My clients mainly consist of those from the world of business, TV, and showbiz. I have also started working in the past couple of years with business owners, teaching them how they can do their own PR. And often this involves work in the digital space, so digital media, including social media. And in 2020, I founded Social Media Kindness Day, which was in memory of Caroline Flack. Within this campaign, I've worked with various celebrities and influencers. And in fact, on the first Social Media Kindness Day in 2020, I had Meghan Markle support the initiative, with her being the most trolled person in 2019. And in 2021, I launched Kindcast by Maya, which is a podcast speaking to celebrities and influencers about their experiences of social media. And then before this, I've been a magazine editor working with celebrities in various capacity. I do also carry out some work in celebrity and influencer engagement for businesses, as well as working with business owners on them working with my clients. So I know a thing or two about celebrities and influencers in order to help you get the most out of it if it is something you're looking to embark upon. So I don't say this to impress you in any way, but impress upon you how what I am teaching you is possible, what to look out for, what you need to consider before embarking on this world. Because when you look at social media, it's all glitz and glamour, and no one really talks about what it's like working with celebrities and influencers and what you need to be aware of. You just see the end product, which is probably the hashtag ad, or and you see the end result where they've created some sort of content where people are buying the products, and you may be wondering, how can I get my hands into those celebrity hands? Or how you can get your products into those celebrity hands. So I will cover this all in this course for you. So let's get started, and we're going to start right from the beginning. This is where I believe most people go wrong when deciding whether to work with celebrities or influencers. They just don't have the basics covered. So in order to make sure you have everything you need to make that relationship you embark upon the best possible, I'm going to look at some of the basics with you. So in this first section, we're going to cover what is it you actually want to achieve from the relationship you build. It's really important to decide this and to have a goal. And then your target audience. Who is it you serve and who will be best suited for them? That's really key. And then we're going to look at the difference between celebrities and influencer, because I think the lines are a bit murky when it comes to that. And then, as you probably know, there are so many celebrities and influencers to choose from. We're going to cover how to make the right decision for your brand. And once you embark upon that relationship, what then? Like, what can you expect to happen? And we're going to cover this in quite a bit of detail so that you have the basis of a strategy behind the work you do, rather than just saying, I want this person because I've seen they've promoted this product and loads of people bought it, it's sold out, I want the same result. That is just the glitz and glamour of social media. And no doubt that brand has done some strategy behind it. And this is the work I do on a daily basis with brands and business owners like yourself. So let's start with what you want to achieve by working with celebrities and influencers. What is it you're looking to achieve? Now, there's no right or wrong answer to this. You just have to know what it is you want to achieve from doing this. To do this, first look at your business objectives, and I would write these down. Get out a notebook, list these down, and I would suggest you have a notebook just to work on the strategy on it, and then it may help you when you go further on in terms of the relationship you build upon them. But I would write these down because as you go on and embark upon this journey, you may forget what your objectives are. It's very easily done. The more you learn about a topic, the more you think, okay, these were my objectives, but these are what they are now. It's a bit like a business. When you first start a business, it's not often that it looks like what it then turns into. So just to say, have a notebook or somewhere where you can take notes. So your reasons are going to be your own, and they don't have to make sense to anyone else apart from you and your business. But there are some reasons about why you might want to work with them. So I would look at why you want to work with celebrities and influencers, and that could be for a number of reasons. I've just listed 3 here, and it could be to help you build brand awareness. So you want your brand out there. You might think it's the best way for you, and that is a great reason. It could be to make more sales. Absolutely, that's one of the main reasons people do it. Or perhaps you want to grow a following on social media, mainly Instagram. Whatever your reasons, please do write these down as you're working your way through this course. It will help you later on. So have a think about it. Maybe I've listed some of them. Maybe you have more than one reasons, and maybe some of your reasons aren't here. Remember, there is no right or wrong when it comes to this. It's just got to make sense to you and what you do. Whatever your reasons are for working with celebrities or influencers, if you've been in business for any length of time, you will have a particular set of audience that which you are targeting. Or if you're very new to business, this is something that's going to be quite key for you to consider. So you may not already have an audience, but you know who your target audience may be. And if you don't, let's cover this in this section. It is crucial to know who they are so that you're able to choose the right celebrity or influencer for your brand. So whoever you decide to work, it has to make a difference to your business. So we've just set out your objectives. We've set out the reason why you're embarking upon this work. So it's got to make a difference to that. And it's not just for vanity purposes. So if you've done any work around business strategy, you may already have been clear on this. I would still write it down in that notepad or wherever you're taking notes about who your ideal clients are. So here are some of the things to consider. Now, when I do this work or when I deal with clients, I recommend they have a name to it just to bring them to life. So have a avatar, and you may have heard of ideal client avatar. So give him or her a name. How old are they? And get as specific as you can to these questions. What do they do? What do they like? What are their dislikes? Do you know what their interests are? Once you get really clear with these answers, you're then able to know how to target them. And this is really key. And if you know anything about social media, you know that at least with the last few questions, you know how you can target them specifically. And the more you know about your client, the better. And remember, it's not you. It's not always you right now. And it's certainly not you right now. You could be very different from your ideal client, totally different. Or you could have been your ideal clients, but you're now a few steps ahead. So, for example, you may have seen a niche in the market and you created your business because of that, because you were looking for something and you were unable to find it. So once you know, then see it. So once you have details of your ideal clients, then see who they follow on Instagram, and not just follow, but they interact with. So if you already have the perfect client, follow them on Instagram, see who they're engaging with. What I would say to you is this is key, especially if you've already got an audience and you're already trading and in business. Look at your best customer and then follow them on social media and really stalk them in the best possible way. You know, who are they following? Are they liking their posts? Do they leave comments? And most importantly, if they do, what type of comments do they leave? So, for example, with a brand collaboration post, do they say they bought something because they've seen that person promote it? How often are they on Instagram following their stories or posts? Is it first thing in the morning, throughout the day? Or do they go on social media when they're bored? Or is it at evening? Really get to know your ideal client so that when it comes to deciding who to work with, you're already clear on this. Also, remember when you're carrying out this work, don't be afraid to ask them. You can do this via a survey. So you can send a survey, and there's lots of tools, SurveyMonkey being one of them. You can send this to your email list. You can do a poll on Facebook groups. So if you have a Facebook group, it'll allow you to do polls, and you can do different ones on different days, so it doesn't seem like you're asking a lot from your audience. Or Instagram stories are a great way of doing it. Just one point, if you are asking questions on Instagram stories, I would put the questions, or if it's multiple choice questions, in the middle of the screen. So if people are skipping by stories, they're not clicking on them by accident. Just a little tip for you. Or you can hold focus group via Zoom, and maybe for their time offer them an Amazon voucher or something. But remember, your audience are going to want to help you. They are supporting you, they're rooting for you, and don't be afraid to ask them, because that is where a wealth of information lies. And your audience have already bought from you, if you're already in business, or that you know that they will buy from you. So really seek them out and ask them. And the best way to do it also is, if you're not ready or in a position to ask them, just follow them on social media and just see how they're engaging with people that they follow on social media. In order to do this, you may need to follow those people as well, just so you can see on their posts whether that person's liked their posts, whether they've engaged with them. It's just all in the algorithms. Let's take a moment to talk about the difference between celebrities and influencers. And it's getting harder to spot the difference between the two, considering that both have a fascinating social media audience and they both take part in brand campaigns. So it's not difficult to understand the reason that people get confused by the two. So, celebrities gain their fame through traditional media channels such as TV, radio, newspapers, magazines. Influencers, on the other hand, gain their audience through new media, so such as Instagram or YouTube channels. So that's the main difference between the two. But it's also obvious that celebrities grow their reputation by standing out in one or more areas in the entertainment industry. So these are generally the people that I represent. They can be from the world of sports, cinema, music, or TV. The fame that celebrities gain is usually because they are successful and talented in their field. And the reason they have a huge following is due to the fascination and, the curiosity that people have for the work they do. And it's also important to stress that celebrities don't appeal to a specific age group or region or social group, but to several groups of people at once. So the audience is extremely diverse. This huge and diverse audience can obviously make it a little difficult for celebrities to get closer to or be engaged with their followers, although I think the likes of social media is making it easier for them in some way. Not only because of this, but also celebrities are commonly associated with, luxury living. So followers may not be able to relate to them very easily. And on the other hand, influencers are people with power to obviously influence and direct a certain community. So they carry out promotional activities, marketing activities by sharing their experiences about any product or service that they use, and they mention this to their huge number of followers. Often they earn their reputation sharing their knowledge in a particular field or their experiences in a particular field. And they also tend to inspire or guide people. If they're not, mega influencers, they'll have a much less of a following than celebrities. It's easier for them to engage with their followers. You'll find that they are usually people interested in their area of prominence. In fact, most of them get their ideas from followers for their content that they create, and they take care to create content that will make it appealing. I think with influencers, what you can definitely say is that they know how to create content because they've been on platforms that require that. Those with smaller follower base, they regularly, respond to DMs and comments and even have meetups. So you'll find that this really gets them to build a loyal following. And that is exactly what you're looking for. People that are loyal to somebody, who will trust somebody, whether it be celebrities or influencers. Celebrities don't usually have experts in the field to promote a product, but influencers, especially on sort of a macro or micro level, they're usually experts in the field. They build a community of their own in their niche area. So it's important to state that celebrities are generally not involved in the planning process of their marketing campaign, unlike influencers. So you'll find that influencers usually carry out the entire process of the campaign. They collaborate with the brand directly, they take part in the creative area, as well as any strategic planning of going live. And I think this is one of the key things to focus, especially when we get on to knowing how you want to work with people. And it's clear, you can see this by content that goes viral. Just look at social media and just probably have a search of the hashtag ad. There'll be a lot of it, but you can tell the difference between celebrities content and the work that's gone into that versus someone who is an influencer. Now, there are hundreds and thousands of celebrities and influencers, but the $1,000,000 question of who will be right to align with your brand. So let's have a look at what kind of celebrities and influencers you might want to work with. So I would say look at the kind of business you have and which of these, answer these in the notepad or wherever you're taking notes, which of these will be right for your brand. So are you looking to go general or niche? So as we just discussed about the difference between celebrities and influencers, celebrities have a general appeal, whereas influencers are or can be quite niche. They can be quite an expert in a particular area. So really look at what you want to do. Do you want to go general? Or you could have an influencer that is has a general audience. Or do you really want to go niche? So for example, if your target audience are pregnant women or women with toddlers, then maybe one of the BBC Dragon's Den star might not be right for your brand, even if they are or have been pregnant or do or have had toddlers. However, a mummy blogger or a mother with an Instagram following, what you'll find is women of certain age are having huge prominence as an influencer on Instagram, or maybe a YouTuber with a pregnancy or a baby channel may be tailored more towards your right for your brand. So really have a look at which you want, and I would say explore the two. So are you looking for a big name or small name? Now, obviously, the first time I ask a brand question, they're like, yeah, bigger the better. But also realize what that means. The bigger brand, the bigger personality, whether it's a celebrity or an influencer, they might not have a target audience, whereas smaller ones may do. And remember, what you choose for this time round may not necessarily be what you go for the next time round. So you might just want to, if it's the first time you're doing this work, you might want to start small and look at who will be right for your brand. And what I'm trying to say is don't just disregard a small name just because they're a smaller name. And when you're looking at who to work with, look also how they work with brands. So do they work with small businesses? Do they only do paid for posts? What style do they have? Is it informative, showy, educational? Is it engaging? Like, do they ask their audience questions? Is it fun? Really explore what is their style when you look at how they work with brands and who they work with. And then paid or free. Think about whether you have a budget for this, or do you want to start allocating a budget for this? this may be a start for you to consider whether influencer or celebrity marketing is right for you. So you may not have an answer for this, but you may decide some of your marketing spend now gets used in this type of marketing, which I would say is worth you exploring. Or are you looking at the free options? So are you looking for gifting? So if you're a product-based business, do you just want to gift a, a product and want celebrities to speak better on their social media? You might think you know this stuff, but I would urge you to really delve deep into it. Write it down in order for you to really create a strategy behind it. And by writing this down and going through these points, it's creating your strategy for you so that you know what to do when it gets to the bit where you decide to work with celebrities and you decide how to work it. I really want you to focus on your strategy because it may seem dull for you if you're not used to this and you're thinking, Maya, I bought this course because I wanted to get to the exciting bit about how I'll get lots of followers or how I'll make loads of sales or how my brand will be spoken about in the media. But I assure you, this is the first bit of work I do when I speak to anybody, whatever size of business they have, about them working with a celebrity, because we are not doing this for vanity purposes. It's a bit like people who say to me, Maya, get me into Forbes or get me into Vogue. And none of their ideal clients read Forbes or Vogue. And, people associate being paid to go into Forbes, so it's not as great as it sounds. So, that's all vanity PR. We don't want to do anything vanity. I'm really getting you to think about the strategy, and I promise you it will be worth it as we work through this course. Okay, so now let's look at what can happen for your business once you have chosen the right celebrity or influencer. So the first things first, I'm going to get you to be realistic. I really have to say, working with celebrities and influencers may seem like a magic wand, but please be realistic with your expectations. So for example, if you're a low-cost product or service, you may drive sales via the links in the stories or linking your product in their bio. You may be at a price point where people will buy without thinking about it, and that's great. Or you may be quite a considered purchase at a higher price point where people are unlikely to buy via link in someone's stories for the first time that they see your product or service. So they might decide to follow you instead, get to know you through following you and watching your stories over time. So think realistically about the customer or potential customer's journey. What will that be like via celebrity or influencer engagement for you? And then with anything, look at what success looks like for you. I believe before you start any sort of campaign that you really need to look at and write down what success looks like. And again, this is going back to what we started with about your objectives and what you're looking to achieve. So it's success in the form of followers, sales, brand recognition, and most importantly, how will you know you have achieved this? What will tell you? So is it numbers? Is it a certain outcome? Really look at how you will know or deem this work to be successful. Look, I'm not here to paint any illusions. And as I said about being realistic, there is no magic wand. Sometimes this can take a long time. This strategy might take you a while to find the right person. There's no promises that you will find the right celebrity or influencer to work with as soon as you finish doing this course. You may need to do a lot more research. You may need to carry out a focus group or really understand your customers or who will be best for them. But this will really lay the foundations for you, because once you've done it once, you can keep doing it. It's a rinse and repeat for you, unless something drastically goes wrong and you may need to revisit this. So really spend time looking at this, and don't be afraid that it can take time. And it may be that the first time you do something, it doesn't work, and you might need to do things differently or tweak something to see what really works best for you. And then I believe the best way to incorporate this is to make it part of your marketing plan. It may be that you need to have a timeline to see what time of year is best for you to do this work. Christmas time, of course, is really competitive. A lot of people are selling their products. Influencers and celebrities may be really busy, but that might not be the right time for you. So really look where in the calendar is the right time for you to focus on this work. And also, by the time you start doing this course, it may take you some time. You may need to revisit this. So you might want to set out a timeline. So you might want to set out a period of time that you focus on the strategy. And as you go through this course, you may then decide there's a period of time that you want to see who the right celebrity is, what sort of conversations you might have with a number of them. So don't expect, soon as you finish this course, i.e. go from the start to the finish, that you'll have decided everything and you'll be ready for the next working day to make contact for the person, and they'll come back to you very quickly and say, yes, we'll love to work with you. It doesn't work that quickly, and we'll go through that in due course. But what I want you in this strategy stage is to really look at these key things.